Happy Friday, people. This is my Friday night reviews where I will review all the comics that I picked up the previous Wednesday. Used to do it one bad, three good. Do it all separately, but now I'm just going to review them all. So keep watching. Happy Friday, everybody. I'm doing this a little early because I have to be at work tonight. So I'm just going to, publish it a little later. I'm doing my reviews for this week. I'm just going to do them all, like I've been doing lately. Let you know what I thought of everything. Excuse me. So let's get started. Empire #1. I thought I would be impressed with this. Al Ewing is doing such a great job with the Immortal Hulk. But then I realized this is an event comic. There's so much stuff. They're trying to cram it all in here. Just huge amounts of exposition. Trying to get all the backstory of the Krees and the Skrulls and their war, and then these new, I'm assuming new people who are like these plant creatures that were, in the air bubble on the moon and stuff, and it was rather convoluted, and I wasn't digging it too much, and I will not be picking up any of the other ones. I'm going to give this a 1.75 out of 5. Up next, Daphne Byrne, #6. I think this is the end of the series, or at least it's the end of the story arc, either way. It is written by Laura Marks, drawn by Kelly Jones, and Michelle Madsen is the colorer, I guess. So you have Daphne Byrne dealing with the people who are after her mother, and she's got her little ghost with her, and her mother is going to be used as a vessel to bring the devil's child back, and she's trying to stop it. And this wasn't the best series, but it was pretty good. If it continues, I'll probably read it a little bit more. Unless I need to cut some stuff out. 2.5 out of 5. Now on to the next event comic of the week. Death Metal 2. On a Highway to Hell. Just not feeling it. A friend of mine, Joe from Joe's Geek Show, was saying, brought up a really good point. Scott Snyder has had 3 years, I think it was 3 or 4 years, to do this story, and he's still bringing it on. And there's stuff that has happened that we haven't been seeing. So they're just doing a lot of, okay, well, this happened, and it's like, okay, when, how, and again, this isn't as exposition heavy, but there's just, I'm not really digging it. I think I might just get the rest of the series just to complete it and hope that it gets better, but so far I have not been impressed with this series. I mean, too much is happening too fast. You know what I mean? They've just been. I think this is just kind of a cash grab. I think I'm not quite sure, but 2.5 out of 5. Giant Size X-Men #1, Magneto. I didn't know what to think about this when I bought it. So basically, okay, who writes this? It was Hickman, Perez, and Curiel are the creative team. So basically, what we have here is a cargo ship out in the ocean, and it turns out that it's Magneto on it. And he pulls up to an island, and he's just standing there, and the curator of the island, the caretaker of the island, comes up and says, hey, why are you here? And he says, I want to talk to the owner. The guy's like, so it could take a while. So they, little conversation, yada, yada, and he waits, and he waits, and he waits. And flashes back to Magneto talking to Emma Frost on their island. She is the one who sent Magneto to this island because she wants to buy it. And so he waits, and turns out Namor is the owner. And so I guess Namor needs his help for something, and so he brings him along down into the trench. Magneto helps out, and then they come to an agreement and lets him use the island. And so he sets up a new headquarters on this island with the little tree transporter thing for the X-Men. It wasn't bad. I mean, it was kind of a nice little one shot. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. Gideon Falls, #23. It's the Jeff Lemire series. This has been kind of running hot and cold. Some of it, there's been some really good parts to it, and some really slow, confusing parts. You have the priest in this one who is going back and forth between different versions of Gideon Falls, and he's trying to figure out what's going on. And this is the one where he gets stuck in this kind of a dystopian, dark future, and he's trying to get out. He makes friends with this kind of a sex worker who's helping him out, and the story and what's going on is this one was a little better than some of the other ones. I'm going to give it a 3.25 out of 5. Vampirella #11. She is back. This is Priest who does this. Yes, I think it is Priest. She is back with her therapist trying to discuss the after effects of the crash, and you have a little cut with back to the German guy who was on the plane when she crashed. I think he was the one who actually made the plane crash. Find out that he's working for somebody, and the interaction between her and her psychiatrist is pretty interesting because he still doesn't believe that she's actually a vampire, but you can see that the whole thing is actually really bugging her, and he actually instead of earlier on when he said get out of my office, he actually comes back and he wants to help her, and we find out what the real reason for the crash was. 3.5 out of 5. Here's one that I normally don't pick up, but I have for the last issue, and this one is The Avengers, number 34. The Age of Khonshu, Part 2. Khonshu has actually now taken over the Earth, and you have Black Panther in chains. You have some of the Avengers who haven't been caught scattered around in hiding, and you have T'Challa trying to tell Mark Spector, Moon Knight, you need to do something to stop Khonshu. And this is, so there's a big debate on that. And then you find Tony Stark, Captain Marvel, and whoever the baby is hiding out, and they have been found. I'm really reading this just because I want to see what they do with Moon Knight and fix him up a little bit after that last run they did with him. And this is an actually enjoyable run. I'm going to give it 3.75 out of 5. Here is a older comic. I guess I had to order it because I missed an issue. Or by the time I got the store, it was gone. Hotel Hell 2 of 4. John Lees is the writer. Dalibor Talajic is the artist, and Lee Lowridge, I guess is the letterer. Now, this is one with a guy and his wife traveling down Route 66. He's on vacation. He called in sick, and so he's trying to just so he could go on this trip with her, and they come across the hotel, and he says, you need to go inside, I'm not supposed to be out, yada yada yada. So she goes in, and they go into the hotel, and it turns out that he's wanting to kill her. That's why he couldn't be seen. There's a lake out in the back, because one of the things when they go to this hotel, which is the common thread of these stories, there's a certain area you're not supposed to go to, but they do anyway, and there's this lake back there. He cuts her up, throws her into the lake, comes back, she's there. He kills her like 3 times, and and it is connected to the first one, because in the first one, the lady who was coming to the hotel runs across a guy who hits on her. And it turns out that this is this guy. So there is another connection. But it does have a little, kind of a twist at the end. Just like these good types of horror stories do. I recommend it. This is issue 204, so there's only going to be 4 of them. It's by AWA Upshot. 3.75 out of 5. Now, Red Border. Hold on. Sorry. My alarm went off for some reason. Red Border, number 3 of 4. So you have the Central Heroes who had found out after, they crossed the border illegally because they're running from a cartel who was after the woman and man, and were helped by this seemingly affable guy. They go to his house, and something's off. And they keep trying to leave. They keep trying to leave. They keep trying to leave. Talking about leaving. At the end of last issue, they find out that there's a bunch of Hispanic people stuffed in the basement. So they're just basically doing a the most dangerous game kind of hunt and killing him and then stuffing him in the basement. So they're like, we got to get out of here. And so this issue is them trying to find a way to get out. And then once they do, the affable guy is after him. And then you also have the boss of the cartels trying to figure out where these are, because he wants to do the job himself, because the last people he had sent to try and kill her, or two teams, got whacked by, most dangerous game guy. And nice little cliffhanger to set up the concluding next issue. I like this story a lot better than I thought I would, and I'm glad that I picked it up. The art is fantastic. It's by Jason Starr writes it, Will Conrad draws it, and even Nunez does the lettering. I'm going to give this a 4.0 out of 5. Okay, and for the last one of this week, The Immortal Hulk, number 35. Wow, let me think. I started the reviews with an Al Ewing book, and I'm ending the reviews with an Al Ewing book. The majority of this takes place in the Hulk's mind, because you have Banner and the Hulk trying to free a version of the Hulk who is locked up in his mind, and they can't figure out why he can't get they can't get him out. So it's the Hulk, one of the Hulks, and Banner trying to get it out. And then you also have Joe Fixit talking with Samson. You have why Betsy Ross wanting to leave, so she gets Banner out of his head and says, they have a little conversation on it, and it's really good. This is basically another psychology of Banner and his different personas issue, and it was really well done, really interesting. A little bit of humor in there when the Hulk goes out to try and gets invited to a city that he had destroyed to make peace and do some public relations for the mayor and himself. Very well done. I continue to love this series, done by Al Ewing, and I found out that it's done after issue 50, which kind of annoys me because it's such a good series. So I'm going to give this a 4.25 out of 5. And, okay, that's it for this week. Did you get anything that I got? What did you think of what I got? And do you agree or disagree with my reviews? Either way, enjoy your comics.